This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 15th day of December in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. A shooting and stabbing incident at State House has raised serious questions about security. Investigators have identified the suspect in the stabbing and disarming of a presidential guard at State House this morning as a Nigerian national. Both the suspect and the presidential guard were hospitalized with serious injuries. Police Commissioner Clifton Hicken and Crime Chief Wendell Blanna both confirmed the man's identity to News Source, giving his name as Betel Ikena Shenezi. He is 25 years old. A motive for the attack is still to be determined. And this evening, the Guyana Police Force is seeking help from the International Police, Interpol. According to the police, Shenezi confronted Presidential Guard Telon Pereira at a security hut in State House compound, declaring that he wanted to see the president. The police report said he whipped out a knife and repeatedly stabbed the presidential guard to his neck and upper body. As the injured guard collapsed, the suspect relieved him of his weapon and retreated to Carmichael Street, and he opened fire. Other presidential guards and police officers in the area returned fire, and the suspect kept firing shots until he was hit and collapsed at the corner of Carmichael and New Market Streets, just outside State House.
Police running from me there too.
But they got eager, yes, sir.
Drive.
A video recording of the incident by a driver in the area showed the injured man on the roadway as presidential guards and the police approached him while telling him to drop his weapon. The man was surrounded and the gun, a 9mm pistol, was kicked away from his hands.
I got my children in the car, you know. I got my children in this car.
The shooting?
Yeah.
He remained on the roadway for several minutes before being taken to the hospital, as the injured guard was also rushed to the same facility. Both men were ruled into emergency surgeries. At the hospital, family and friends of the injured presidential guard rushed to the scene and were comforted by President Irfanali, who also went down to the hospital for an update from doctors. Back at the scene of the shooting and stabbing, the police said investigators were able to recover the 9mm gun and several spent shells. The entire area around State House was cordoned off for over 3 hours this morning as the investigations were launched. Investigators are trying to gather more information on the suspect. There are reports that he last worked at a cleaning company located not too far from State House. Persons who worked alongside him told News Source that the man did not speak much, and the only issues he might have had at work were issues related to not being on time for some cleaning jobs. One source at the company said the man has never displayed any aggression, and they are finding it difficult to understand what might have led to his attack. The breach and attack at the president's residence has raised serious questions about security and accessibility at State House. Security is being reviewed tonight. In a statement today, the opposition APNU-AFC condemned the attack at the president's residence, saying that the opposition welcomed news that the president and his family are safe. The APNU-AFC also wished a speedy recovery to the injured presidential guard. More news coming up in just a moment.
something big is here. GTT presents the moment you've all been waiting for.
'Tis the season to drive with GTT. Get your chance to be one of 4 lucky winners of a Toyota Raise, plus weekly giveaways and more. Simply activate a prepaid plan, sign up for fiber and voice plan, pay any 2 bills with MMG, or join the GTT family, and vroom! It could be you. 4 Toyota Raises, 4 winners. Drive with GTT.
At Giftland Office Max, we're all about customer satisfaction. Whether it's clothing and shoes for the ladies, gents, and kids, or for the latest electronics or hardware appliance, we're always thinking of satisfying you, our dear customers. Now you can shop online at www.giftlandofficemax.com or visit us at the Giftland Mall, where we're happy to serve each and every one of you.
The season to get what you've always wanted with a little help from Republic Bank. Same day approvals apply online. It's time to make it happen for yourself and your family. Get cash back for the best Christmas ever. Sorrel making, garlic postering, ham and black cake eating. Now this is Christmas.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Opposition Member of Parliament and Attorney Gita Chandon Edmund has reportedly resigned as the General Secretary of the People's National Congress Reform, which is the largest party in the APNU-AFC coalition. The party's leadership received a letter from Chandon Edmund thanking them for their support, cooperation and guidance during what she called her stint as General Secretary of the party. In the letter, she says serving in the post has been an honor and privilege, and she remains committed to the ideals of the PNC. Chandon Edmund proceeded on a leave of absence from the position of General Secretary 4 months ago, with the party unaware of a return date. News source understands that there were concerns among senior party members about her performance as General Secretary. The General Secretary's position is a high-ranking one, and the holder of the post is considered to be the chief executive of the party. Some of the previous holders of the position of recent were current party leader Aubrey Norton and longtime party executive members Amna Ali and Oscar Clark. Chandon Edmund was in the PNC Reform as a member for less than 2 years when she was picked for the position just after the election of Aubrey Norton as party leader. News source understands that Norton is yet to begin a search for a new General Secretary, even as party loyalists have been encouraging him to find someone who is known to be a hard worker and fighter to serve in the management position. The names of Simona Brooms, retired GDF Chief of Staff Gary Best, and Member of Parliament Ganesh Mahipal have all been floated as possible and suitable candidates for the position of General Secretary in the PNC. Now let's tell you that amid loud chants to free the mayor by his supporters this morning, the city's chief citizen, Mayor Ubraj Narain, and opposition member of parliament Sherrod Duncan appeared before the chief magistrate Anne McLennan for allegations that they attempted to excite racial hostility in addition to obstructing traffic. According to the police, Mayor Narain and MP Duncan, while in the vicinity of Newmarket Street on the 12th of December, intentionally transmitted a video in an attempt to incite racial division. They were not required to plead to the indictable charges. The two opposition officials were also charged for attempting to incite racial hostility to a section of the public on the grounds of their race. For each charge, they were placed on $100,000 bail each. However, at the commencement of the case, the prosecutor was unable to state the reason for the charges, and that led to a recess. Across in the traffic court, both Mayor Narain and MP Duncan were charged with obstruction of traffic. They were placed on self-bail. Outside the courthouse after the case, Mayor Narain told reporters that democracy is dead in Guyana thanks to the current government.
Democracy is dead in our country. I've been silenced by all this action that is happening. I wish to state that I will continue to fight for the people of this city and at large my country. We all have to stand up for democracy. We all have freedom of speech.
Correct.
And we must stand together to fight for the return of democracy in our country.
Thank you.
Leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, who was among APNU AFC members present at the court, said the government is using the Guyana police force to target and harass members of the opposition. He made the same statement in an address to the nation last evening. Meanwhile, Senior Counsel Roysdale Ford, who was among attorneys present in the court today representing the mayor and the MP, said the charges are baseless.
The public is well aware that there was no such statements made by them on the United Question. These charges are part of a process by the government to shut us down and to shut the opposition down. The court today, in an unprecedented move, made orders seeking to gag the mayor, to gag MP Duncan from speaking about this matter.
And weighing in on the issue, leader of the Alliance for Change, Kemraj Ramchatan, said in no way did the mayor's statement incite hostility.
It is a truth, as I am saying, that indeed the beneficiaries of a large amount of our oil monies through cash transfers have been East Indians. And that is why, shamelessly, this government does not want to put on the website the names of all those people.
Member of Parliament Amanza Walton Desir also spoke out against the arrest and the charges. She said she hopes citizens are taking note of what she called the pettiness and disrespect being handed down by the Irfan Ali administration. Mayor Ubraj Narain was arrested at his office yesterday, and Duncan was arrested at the same office when he turned up there to record the situation. The charges came in response to the mayor's questioning of whether the president of Guyana was turning Guyana into a Muslim state by his refusal to engage the mayor, who is a Hindu priest. The president is Muslim. Meanwhile, the Guyana Defense Force has dismissed the mayor as a reserve member of the force over the statements that he made. The GDF said his services are no longer needed as a reserve member of the force.
Fireside sweet, standard and unique. Room fresh and nice, comfortable and neat. 24-hour whole day we a do it. Affordable price down a Garnet Street, yo. Can't vex, cause we top of the line. Fireside are the best, 5-star we a shine. From you come one time, we tag a left on your mind. To tell your family, your friend, them one more time set. Best service a Fireside Suite. Safety ensured down a Fireside Suite. Price them cheap down a Fireside Suite. Come enjoy your stay down a Fireside Suite. Fireside Suite located at 154 Garnet Street, Kitty. For bookings and reservation, call contact number 623-3473. Mate Queen.
Cash Christmas is back, just the way you like it. Get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. We ain't waiting on Santa. We buy and we own this Christmas. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com from October 15th to December 31st. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes. Terms and conditions apply.
A very Merry Guyanese Christmas.
The chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, retired Justice Claudette Singh, has ruled that the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Dharamlal, acted outside of his jurisdiction when he combined and subdivided areas to form constituencies for the local government elections. The public relations officer at GCOM, Yolanda Ward, told News Source that having reviewed extracts from Order Number 50 of 2022, the chairperson explained that it is evident that the minister would have combined or subdivided areas to form constituencies, and that is outside of his statutory powers. It is a jurisdiction given solely to the Elections Commission, the public relations officer said. In November, the local government minister extended a number of constituency boundaries while reverting others to the 2016 local district boundaries for the next local government elections set for next year. In announcing his decision, he contended that many of the boundaries were adjusted for the 2018 local polls by the former government, and that resulted in supporters of his party, the PPP, being disenfranchised. He did not provide any information or details to back up his claims. At a short meeting of the Elections Commission on Wednesday, the chairman said that in setting the boundaries for the constituencies, the minister had absorbed the responsibilities of GCOM. Elections Commissioner Vincent Alexander told News Source that the GCOM chairman arrived at her decision after the commission considered a report which was submitted by the Logistics Division of the Elections Commission. In a statement last week, the Elections Commission said the powers given to the minister and the commission are different and not in conflict. The Elections Commission is expected to meet again next Tuesday to decide on the way forward. It was explained that a local government minister has the power to divide Guyana into areas as provided for in Article 72(2) of the Constitution. But it is the commission that has the powers to combine or subdivide those divisions within neighborhoods and municipalities to form constituencies. While the Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission is putting consumers on notice to be on the lookout for online marketplace scams, especially around this Christmas season, where there is greater demand for goods and services. In a statement today, the Commission said it has received several official and unofficial complaints relative to persons being scammed and duped. The Commission said it has recognized that there is a growing problem of scams in shopping places in the local online marketplace. The Commission advises consumers to be vigilant when entering into any transaction with sellers in the local online marketplace. According to the Consumer Affairs body, it has received complaints ranging from the non-functioning of items purchased to items being materially different in brand and quality from that which was advertised. In addition, the Commission says some sellers frequently delete their social media accounts immediately after scamming the buyer and operate under several different names online. The Commission said it is difficult for them to address the complaints received since there are often no contact information for the sellers. In the absence of contact information, consumers and the Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission have difficulty securing redress from the errant suppliers. The Commission said to avoid being scammed or duped by the unscrupulous suppliers, the CCAC is advising that consumers, among other things, check the seller's history and review comments from recent buyers, as well as find out about the rules for refunds and returns, and ensure that the seller lists their contact information and a physical address. The 2022 valedictorian at the University of Guyana, Sean Pemberton, is urging his fellow graduates to get on board and involved in the country's development, even as he has urged that they continue the process to elevate themselves through additional studies. Pemberton, who graduated with a bachelor's degree in economics and was able to finish his course in 3 years with a perfect 4.0 grade point average, advised his colleagues to be agents of change, while noting their collective achievement is needed in Guyana at this time.
And as Guyana stands at the cusp of tremendous socio-economic transformation, we must not hold on to growths from the past, but instead, we should seek to learn from past mistakes and build upon best practices where they exist.
The CARICOM Secretariat employee told his colleagues that although there are lots of opportunities in the country, the question of experience remains the elephant in the room to be addressed. He said that while there are calls for persons to get into the oil and gas sector, they are being asked for experience that they do not have. Consequently, he said, the University of Guyana, along with the government of Guyana and the human resource professionals, must come together to address that issue.
I want to use this opportunity to implore the relevant institutions for more opportunities for internships, jobs, and more scholarships to allow for holistic and inclusive education and to facilitate that process of continuous elevation of graduates.
The university graduates said the development of the country should be on the minds of all graduates, and they must not merely seek a job commensurate with their qualifications. Pemberton became the first economics major to top the University of Guyana and credited his success to hard work in the face of unprecedented challenges.
Census takers are visiting communities across Guyana and collecting information from every household. This information will help the government to plan better for our country's development. All the information shared will be treated as strictly confidential, and everyone is asked to participate. No one should be alarmed about any question asked, because the answers provided will help to improve living standards, decrease community crime rates, and improve access to housing and healthcare, among other benefits.
The census gives us the tool to identify some of these important gaps that exist across communities, within communities, and across regions, so that we can have targeted intervention.
Yeah, we counting way from region 1 to region 10, the whole country. Yeah, we counting way.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has agreed to make a number of upgrades to the country's passport. The decision to make improvements to the passport was taken during the cabinet meeting on Monday. The Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Marcus Nata, communicated that the upgrades include increasing the number of pages from 32 to 48 and there will be added enhanced security features to all pages, including the laminate and laser engraved polycarbonate data pages. St. Kitts and Nevis has one of the strongest passports in the region, allowing holders to travel to 157 destinations, including to Hong Kong, Russia, Singapore, the UK, and Europe's Schengen area, visa-free or with visa on arrival. In Barbados, Barbados Today is reporting that a private-public partnership is needed to fulfill government's ambitious goal of building 10,000 houses over the next 5 years. The Minister of Housing in Barbados, Dwight Sutherland, said that was why the Mayor Motley-led administration has been creating an enabling environment for the private sector to build more than half of those houses. Speaking to the media in Barbados, the minister responsible for housing said that the government was on a mission with its housing revolution, noting that about 1,400 houses will be built by the end of the financial year through the private-public partnership. The minister explained that in addition to the houses at Ridge Meadows, BJ Investments, a private company, was designing another 400-unit affordable income community houses at Lancaster in St. James. And finally tonight, international news. U.S. President Joe Biden has announced billions of dollars in support and investment for Africa at a summit with the continent's heads of state. He said the U.S. is all in on Africa's future. It is the first such gathering hosted by Washington for 8 years. The summit is seen as a U.S. attempt to reassert its influence in Africa to counter Chinese involvement. It also comes after Donald Trump's 4-year tenure in office, during which he alienated numerous African leaders with policy decisions and insulting comments. Mr. Biden struck a very different tone to his predecessor, speaking optimistically of improved links with Africa and telling the gathering that when Africa succeeds, the U.S. succeeds. He said that the crisis facing the world today needed African leadership, ideas, and innovations. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.